Barb from Snail Mail Studio, and I have a passion for people being able to make their own cards and send them out to people. And I am making a few new videos for brand new card makers and just doing some really basic videos. And today's video is on envelopes. Now, that may seem like a very easy thing, just grab an envelope and go, but there is a little bit more to it than that, and I just wanted to explain some things. It's not real complicated, but I think it'll help you out. So when you see cards that are handmade online like this one, most of these cards are the A2 size card, and there is a reason for that. An A2 size card is simply an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock, and it's either cut lengthwise or widthwise, and it can be cut either way, but you will get 2 cards out of that, and that gives you the most bang for your buck. If you cut it this way, you will get 2 cards that stand a little bit taller, like so. And if you cut it this way, you get them a little bit longer and wider, but not as tall, like that. And both definitely have their place. So most cards are made with this, and they fit into an A2 envelope. This card is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and this envelope's just a little bit bigger. You would look for the A2 size. Now, there are a lot of different ways to buy them. One of the least expensive ways is just to run up to Joann's and either using a coupon or catching a sale. I got 25 envelopes for about $5, maybe even a little bit less with the coupon. So that's a really good way to start, and while you're there, you can just pick up some paper and start cutting and start making some basic cards. Now, if you find that you really do like this and you're like wanting to do a little bit more with the A2 cards, I went online to Amazon and bought an assortment of colors of envelopes. And you can get like an assortment, and then I think I also got like 100 purple and 100 pink and 100 of this medium green. So as you think about the colors that you really like to work with, that is an economical way to do it because they're really not that expensive. So you would just check out the A2 cards at Amazon. And lastly, with the A2 cards, these are from Stampin' Up, but you can also send a card in a clear envelope, and these are surprisingly inexpensive. These are from Stampin' Up, like I said, but you can also get them from Amazon. And as long as they're not too thick and bumpy, this one's a little thick and bumpy, but if you had a totally flat card, you could just stick it in there. And then what you would need to do is get some Avery labels and put it on there and put your addressee and then your return address. And that's kind of fun for somebody to get that in the mail. If they are a little bumpy, you can certainly still mail these. You would just need extra postage. So the best thing to do with that is go to the post office and confirm. But these generally do not take extra postage. So that's your first and foremost, the basic A2 card. They're really easy to make, and you can make a lot of them without using or wasting a lot of paper. Now, if you wanted to, sometimes I will make a bigger card. My mom frequently complains that these cards are too small and she likes the bigger cards. So if I give her some for Christmas, I try to make her the bigger ones. And this is a typical 5 by 7. And again, what I love about this is you can just go up to Joann's or Michael's. These actually came from Michael's. And this is an A7 envelope, and it holds a 5 by 7 card. And again, you can pick up like 50 of these for like $5. So they're readily available and fairly inexpensive. Now, the only downside to doing this, it's not really a downside, but like you will use this much paper for one card. So as you can see, you're going to use one sheet of cardstock and just get one card out of it. You'll have a little bit left over to maybe make a little border or something on the front. But if you're watching your money, the A2 is better, but if you have like a special occasion, a wedding or a birthday that you really want the person to feel super special, you might want to upgrade to a 5x7 card. So those are the two most common size cards, but I did want to talk about a couple different things too, just so you'll know. If you mail a card, the United States Postal Service has standards, and you can't just mail any size card for one stamp. The smallest that their website says is 3.5 by 5. And this is a cute size card and envelope. This pack, and by the way, I showed you these envelopes and this in the 5x7, and these are the smaller ones. All of these came from Michael's and Joann's. And some of them are just envelopes, which is what I buy because I have a lot of card stock. But if you are just getting started and you're like, you don't have a lot of card stock, some of them come in packages. And this is 12 cards and 12 envelopes. So you can look for that in any size. But what I really wanted to say about these is this is as small as USPS will allow you to send something. And that is really, really small. You might want to just save this even for, like, if you had a gift, you could just put it on the front of a gift. And that would be a really good size for that. Or maybe just a quick thank you note or something. But these aren't super popular, but I just wanted to share with you that I did see some envelopes and they were 3x5 and they would be too small to mail. So you want to make sure that if you're mailing them, they're at least this size. Now, pardon this beat up envelope. I don't have too many of these, but this is the biggest size envelope that you can mail as just a regular letter. But you would really never make a card that big. I've never made a card that big, but anyway, I just wanted to share with you that these are the size guidelines for the USPS. So now, if you don't want to go to the store or are just like wanting to make 1 or 2 cards especially, the chances are really good that you have some business envelopes around the house. These are called number 10 envelopes, and they basically hold a card that is about 4 by 9. And in the crafting world, this is called a slimline card, but it's simply just a card that's tall and skinny and fits in an envelope like this. I'll share with you one that I have made. This is a Merry Christmas one, and it's really cute. Now, the way you would just work this is you would just do the math, because you'd have to make it 9 inches, and then you would cut that side 9, and then if your card was 4 inches, you would cut it 8 inches across, and then you would score it and fold it at 4 inches so that you would have a 4 by 9 card. And they fit in regular business envelopes, and they also sell a lot of nice slimline envelopes. This just happens to be a craft one, but they come in many colors, just like the smaller ones that I showed you. And I wanted to also show you, and I'm going to do another video on this, but they have slimline paper pads now that make it really easy. You can just pull off one of these and set it right on top of a slimline card and a few more embellishments, and you're good to go. So you probably have some of those, and that's a great way to start too. Oh, I wanted to say I got these at Walmart, and they were like $2.50, maybe $3.50, something like that. And Walmart, I did not see at the store selling the 5x7s, but they have something similar called an A6 envelope, and that is 4 3/4 by 6.5. And so you would just make your card a little bit smaller than that and just fold it in half, and that would fit in there. But again, these were like, I'm gonna say around $3, give or take a little, and you get 50 envelopes for $3. So that's a really good way to start off too. And I also picked up at Walmart number 6 envelopes, and these are, these would hold a card that's 3.5 by 6. So that's kind of a fun size too. So you don't have to start with your typical A2 envelope. You can just use any envelopes that you already have. Now, I did want to share with you one thing about the USPS, and that is if you use any kind of square envelope like this, it is non-machinable and it costs more than double to send it. And I have a friend, if she makes a square card of any size, she'll just put it in a rectangle envelope anyway. You can certainly mail these, but they're going to be more money. And if all of that is a bit overwhelming or you just want an easier way to go, this is something that I picked up for about $10 at Joann's yesterday. And this has a bunch of cards, and they're white envelopes, and the cards are already folded in half, and they don't have a lot of design on them, so you can do your own thing. You can use stickers or do any stamping and cutting out, but all of these are very basic designs. They just have like some stripes and some mild patterns, and that would be a good way to start too if you wanted. You get 40 sets, so it's 40 envelopes and 40 cards for $10, which is a really good deal too. So lastly, what I wanted to share with you is, and I'm going to go in there and into my craft room and show you about this. You can make your own envelopes, and this is an envelope board, and I'll just quickly show you a little bit about it, and then I'll go into more detail. But if you wanted to make a certain size card for any reason, and especially if you wanted to use some really cool paper and be very creative, you can do that with an envelope board. And this is an example of an envelope that I just made. And what's nice about this is that, like I said, it has like virtually any size. There are about, there are about 45 sizes on here of envelopes that you can make. And all of them can be made with a sheet of paper that is 12 by 12 or smaller. So what's really fun about this especially is that you can do it with any kind of paper. And again, if you could probably just write on and with a dark black pen and people would be able to see it. But if you did it with something that was darker or very busy like this, you could just buy these. And again, these Avery labels are available at Walmart for not a lot of money. And then you would just stick one on there and up there. I did want to share with you that when you make your own envelope, you can see this sheet of paper is very thin. It's almost like a little bit thicker than maybe copy paper. And this one is a little bit thicker. It is more like almost closer to a cardstock. When you're making your envelopes, I think it's better to use the thinner paper. This will work, but sometimes at the folds, it breaks just a little bit. And I've used them and they're fine and they make it to their destination, but the thinner paper is really good for that. So once you cut that paper out, you'll usually have a little bit left around the edges, and then you can use that for your card front. So that's kind of a fun thing to do too. Now, of course, that's a little bit more involved because you need to buy this envelope punch board. Now this is a Stampin' Up! One, but I know that other people have them too. And again, you might want to look at Michael's and Joann's and see if you can catch one with a coupon. So that's my little video about envelopes, and I'm going to take you into the craft room and put the camera down at the desk and show you just how this works. So join me over there. Okay, so here I am at my craft desk, and I've got my envelope board here, and the sizes of envelopes that they have available are listed right down here, and you can pick any size that you want. I'm going to go with a 5 by 6 because that's just a little bit different, and I can't really buy an envelope that size. So you go, if your card is 5 by 6, your paper size is going to be 9 by 9, and you are going to score at 4 1/4. That sounds a little bit overwhelming, but let's break it down. Your paper size is 9 by 9. So what I'm going to do here is take this 12 by 12 sheet of paper and simply cut it 9 inches by 9 inches. And like I said earlier, these edges are going to be perfect to go around the edge of a card. Let's say this was the card, you could actually take that and cut that off and put that right there, and then maybe put a stamp or a sticker right there, and that way your card and envelope will match. So I'm just going to set that aside for future use. And getting back to here, this is a 5 by 6. I've cut my paper 9 by 9. I'm going to score at 4 1/4. Now my board has this little scoring tool right here. And I always score kind of upside down because I think that it folds better. So my score line, just to double check, is 4 1/4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push my paper up against this edge, and I'm going to take it over to 4 1/4 inches. Once I have it there, I press that down and I take the scoring tool and stick it right in there, and there's a grooved edge or a grooved line right there, and that makes my first one. After that, you don't have to worry about anything else. You just turn your paper and you line up the score with that plastic point right there. Once they're lined up, you punch that down and you score again. And then you're going to do that 2 more times. And you have created an envelope. Now, in order for the envelope to be a little bit more tailored, this section right here is a corner rounder. And you can round your corners like that, and that just gives it a little bit more of a polished look. And this is a 4 by 6. Now, if it was square, it wouldn't matter, but you want to take, I guess you can probably do it either way, but I can see, or a 5 by 6. This is the 5 and that's the 6. So I'm going to fold that. That will in essence be the bottom of my envelope, and that will be the side and the other side. And what I do is I come in here, putting that down. Now you can see right there, that little tip is not going to be touching the paper. So you don't want to glue right up to that. But I just use an Elmer's glue stick that I picked up at Walmart. And there again, you don't want to go like way over here, but just at the edge, just to like right about there. And then you fold that and give it a minute to dry, and there is your envelope. And then you will need to, after you make a card and you're ready to address it, you'll need to just put the glue on that again. But that's so simple, and it's so fun because you can make a matching card with the leftovers, and they've got a really fun envelope to get when they open their mailbox. So I hope this has been a helpful video, and I hope that you have a wonderful time crafting. Please comment with any questions that you might have, and I would love to answer them. Thank you so much for watching, and have a blessed day.